Wow, never thought I'd see the day where I can say, we gotta talk about Colors too. Cause holy shit, is this a big one. Not only is it their longest album to date, it's also a sequel to goddamn Colors, which a lot of people hold it as like the pinnacle of the band. Not even the band, but like one of the best metal albums ever. So when you announce you're doing a sequel, you got some shoes to fill. Also, please excuse me, I'm a little dead because I saw Bit Bam on Friday on the album release show, and I kind of went ham. So I feel like death, but we gotta talk about this album anyway. So if you're familiar with how I do things over here, you know I like to go track by track and kind of break down each one. But for Colors, it's kind of hard to do that because it's actually just one song split up into parts. So I'm still going to keep that format, but like I'm not going to go too in depth about each song. I'm just going to give, I guess, my highlights and things that I noticed about each track. So starting with Monochrome. So it opens up same way that Colors does, and a lot of their shit does. You know, a clean intro with clean vocals. You know, we got the keyboard, Tommy coming in just like Colors. Coma Ecliptic does that too. Other albums just to have a guitar, but we have a keyboard in this one. So right off the bat, the similarities to Foamborn are very apparent. Obviously, you know, the keyboard and the vocal intro, and then the band comes in, and it's kind of like the same chord chugging as Foamborn A. And but this one has really nice synth notes going on throughout like the whole song, and it gets heavy towards the back half of the song. But then we get into Double Helix of Extinction, and it's pretty much a carbon copy of Foamborn B. I mean, it has the same kind of the dee-doo-doo-doo, you know, the guitar or whatever, and then like it breaks down and does like a drum fill, and then it, you know, comes right back into it. And then around like the 2-minute mark, there's some, I don't know if they're like rototoms, but they're like weird sounding drum things that are pretty cool. We have goddamn meme horns in this track. They finally dropped their name in the lyrics because they took it from a song and now they put it in one of their songs. So that was really cool. The brutalness of this track is because Foamborn B is probably like the most brutal song on Colors, and this is one of the most brutal songs on this song or this album. Fuck, it is a song, but you know what I'm saying. And then we got Revolution and Limbo, which honestly, the only thing I need to say about this track is holy shit, Blake growling. When they first dropped the single, I didn't want to listen to it. I was like, you know, I heard Fix the Air, good enough for me. And then someone put in the comments, it was like, yeah, Blake growls. And I was like, are you shitting me? So I listened to it because I had to hear it, and yeah, it's incredible. And then we have our first clean break in the album, and this one goes on for a lot longer than most of them do, which is really nice because I think Bit Bam absolutely nails their clean sections. I mean, every single one. I would say their clean parts are even better than their heavy parts because it allows Dan and Blake to groove the shit out of it while like the guitars just kind of do whatever, and then Tommy has a really nice voice. I just think their cleans, unlike a certain band I'll talk about soon, that just absolutely nail it. And then we kick off into Fix the Air, and this is probably the most fun song on the entire album. You know, it was their first single, and I think everyone was like, wow, this album is going to be awesome. And it's not, the rest of the album is not really like this song. I mean, there's one track that's even more goofy than this one, but like, this one combines just so much quirkiness and heaviness, and just, it's such a fun song, and I was going so damn hard when they played this live. You have no idea. And then we have like a drum solo that's like 4 different drummers. Portnoy's one of them. I don't know the other 2 guys, but they nail it too. And you know me, I'm a drummer myself, and that's fucking awesome. We have a banjo in this song that hits like 6 notes. Then we have the da-da-da-da-da, you know, the vocal thing that he does sometimes. Incredible. The whole song is just a back-to-back roller coaster ride, and it's probably my favorite track on the album. And speaking of favorite tracks on the album, Never Seen Future Shock. This is also one of the better ones. There's a really nice clean break in this one that straight up sounds like it's from like a fantasy realm, and that's really cool. And then the way they get out of it, like a bunch of like random notes, and then like he hits a bell, and then it goes right into a heavy. I don't know. I just think that's such a nice little flavor. I call them flavors. That little thing that just makes the track so much better. And that one bell hit is a spicy flavor. There's a really cool lyric. The ants on our backs, they have dropped from the sky. There's a couple lyric things that, call back to previous albums, and that's a really cool one. There's a really sick groove during the Fade as Time Marches On part. We got some electro toms going on a bit too. It's a really great pair of songs, which leads us into Stare Into the Abyss. And it's a shorter one. I love the atmospheric swelling in the background in like the first part of the song. And then again, the keys have a really nice melody. I just think the keys are my favorite parts of this track, which leads us into Prehistory. Now this is objectively the best song on this album. I mean, we got the good jams in the beginning. We got shit going backwards. We got bass solos. We got creature feature lyrics, which is my shit. The snare thing where they accent certain words, what they do sometimes, da ba da da ba da 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 da, that kind of shit. I love when they do that. We got more sound effects, way more sound effects in this one. Like, they just crammed all of them into this one track. It's when we was talking about Fix the Air, and I was like, yo, this is one of the most fun tracks. This is the other one. Like, this one is just Fix the Air, but jam-pack more weird shit into it. And then the end of the song, it does like the Memory Palace thing, where it's like da 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 da, and then it leads us into Bad Habits, which the Memory Palace thing again continues. This track has a really, really tasty solo in it, and then there's like a cowbell jam in the middle. And then we have another lyric callback with Sleep On, Fly On. Oh man, I just fucking love callbacks. I love callbacks. Kicks into The Future Is Behind Us, and what do you know? Even more sound effects. I don't know, I just think it's so amazing, because in the past you have like a horse or like another animal thing, but this album, man, they just threw so much into it. In the middle, we get like something, it sounds just like Owner of a Lonely Heart, where it's like, back to back like keyboard sound effect things. And then we get one of the most brutal breakdowns in this track, and then the end of it, which leads into Turbulent, where it's just fucking dance music. I mean, my god. Obviously, that's the highlight of the track, is just the beginning, like, middle. Especially when it keeps going, and then, like, the groove starts to come in, but, like, it's still doing, like, the electro thing. It's so fucking awesome. And then the Close Off Circle lyric, again, another callback. Awesome. And that leads us into Fumado with an S or some shit. Whatever. It's a nice chill ambient piece. It's just like a minute long, fine, whatever. It just leads right into White Walls 2.0, which is Human as Hell. And man, like, where do you even begin with this track? First of all, we have our White Walls intro. That's basically the same exact thing. Like, yeah, y'all want White Walls 2? Here you go, here's White Walls 2. It just minutes upon minutes of beating your ass. We get a small break after a bit that kind of reminds me of Bloom, especially with like the drum beat. Ba-da-ba-ba. That quirky part, which, I mean, the whole track is quirky, but I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but like, Jesus, there's so many. I saw a comment once talking about Blake, how unlike a lot of metal players, he doesn't use blast beats or double kick a lot, which he really doesn't, and that's where I have to give him like really real credit for, is that he's able to make these heavy ass beats and like music without needing to just go ham on everything. But in this track, he goes ham on everything, and it's scary. This band turns frightening when it's blasting for like 5 minutes. I am horrified of those mosh pits when they eventually play this live. And then they bring back the intro again, just like the original White Walls, like in the middle of the song. And then it goes on for a while. I am a bit disappointed that it doesn't do like another big ass jam at the end of this song. It more goes along the lines of Goodbye to Everything, where it stops and then it comes back in just for like 30 more seconds. Now, I think it's because they just ran out of time, because CDs can only hold like 80 minutes and this album is 79 minutes. So they were like, I bet they were like, alright, well, unless we want to make this a double album, we just gotta end this shit. And I think that's exactly what happened when it paused. That's like as far as they got writing wise, and they were like, oh shit, we only have like a minute and a half left of space. Let's just do a nice little jam and then just end it. But still, I was really looking forward to like another, because that ending of White Walls is fucking something else, man. And while there's a lot of things they took from the first Colors and put it in this one, that's the one I was hoping for the most, and I didn't get it. But you know what, it's fine. It's fine. There's plenty throughout the rest of the album that I can go back to and be like, hell yeah, this is awesome. So, overall, I can't imagine someone that's a fan of the band not liking this album. It's brutal, it's quirky, it's moshable, it's singable, it's not playable because every instrument is pretty much impossible, and in many regards, it's very similar to the first Colors, for better or worse. My biggest issue with Colors, and subsequently Colors 2, is that there is not really a single track I can go back to and listen to just that one track. Obfuscation, Fossil Genera, Telos, Extremophile Elite, Coma Machine, Memory Palace, Condemned to the Gallows, Millions, Voice of Trespass. These are all single tracks I can enjoy without needing to go through the whole album. And while Colors is amazing front to back, I don't always have 70 minutes to spare when I want to listen to Bit Bam. So if I only have a little bit, I'm gonna go listen to a song off other albums. It's great as a whole, but not exactly in pieces, if that makes sense. I mean, everyone is at the top of their game here, and I think this is probably like the most vocals there are in a Bit Bam album, because a lot of times there's at least one song that has like a long like solo instrumental break, and Colors 2 doesn't really have a lot of those. And by all means, if any of you are like super like Colors stans, and if you noticed any kind of Easter eggs, because that's pretty much the only things I noticed, was like the Foamborn B, the White Walls intro. I didn't recognize any other like music callbacks. So if I miss something, please let me know what they are in the comments, and because that'll probably make me like the album even more than I already do. It's a damn good album, easily their best since Parallax 2. And join me next week when I rank all the albums, and it's gonna take me a week to figure out where I want to put this one, because I already know my list of the other albums. But it's like, where the hell do I put Colors 2 now? That's gonna take me some time to figure out. But until then, damn man, I can't wait till they like tour the album. We still have to get Automatas, both of them, like in full. So I don't know when they're gonna do the Colors 2 show, but damn, I'm gonna be front row in that bitch.